Contempt. Nick Ferrari destroyed Boris with crushing blow that revealed PM's disastrous strategy. Nick Ferrari slammed Boris Johnson for his ineptitude to tackle the rise of Omicron cases ahead of the Christmas holidays. LBC host Nick Ferrari refused to hold back his contempt for the Prime Minister, criticizing Boris Johnson's decision-making skills and taking aim at the recent controversies surrounding his cabinet. Mr. Ferrari discussed the vitriol aimed at the Prime Minister coming from sports fans across the country, and expressed his lack of faith and respect for Mr. Johnson throughout the segment over his failure to address the spike in Omicron cases. The Prime Minister has ruled out further restrictions ahead of Christmas but failed to confirm a circuit break lockdown will not be needed afterward. Mr. Ferrari said, "How can he possibly expect that anybody listens to him, after party revelation after revelation? And I have to say blunder after blunder have littered the 7 weeks ago he bestowed the world stage at COP26. Now we can all see he's not much cop at a lot of decision-making, can't we? Because if he honestly thinks that we wait until December the 21st, it's December the 22nd today to just decide our Christmas plans." Memo to the Prime Minister: "You're out of your depth at the moment. You've got Leeds United fans chanting your name and ending with the C word." Mr. Ferrari added, "And even darts fans who are hardly known as the most radical people on earth, seeing some today dressed up as Robin Hood and Maid Marian, and that's just the men. You have even got them turning against you and chanting your name, with disrespectful slogans. And you think we listen to you about our Christmas plans? We did last year, and look where that left us. While you and your colleagues have been partying, the penny has dropped, and we just don't listen. And we know what you're going to do about the new year. You haven't even got the balls to do it now. That is the reality. We know what is coming, and it's about time that you faced up to it." Boris Johnson announced on Tuesday that he would not introduce any further coronavirus restrictions in England before Christmas, but warned that additional measures could be necessary next week. Following a major cabinet backlash this week, the UK Prime Minister abandoned proposals for immediate circuit breaker restrictions on indoor gatherings while ministers await more data on the severity of the Omicron variant. The UK recorded 90,629 new COVID-19 cases on Tuesday, up 52% on the same day last week. However, the growth rate appears to have slowed slightly, falling from a December 16 high of nearly 75% week on week. Speaking from Downing Street, Johnson warned that Omicron was continuing to spread with a speed unlike anything we've seen before and the UK's situation remained extremely difficult. But he said further restrictions were not required immediately. In view of the continuing uncertainty about several things, the severity of Omicron, uncertainty about the hospitalization rate or the impact of the vaccine rollout or the boosters, we don't think today that there is enough evidence to justify any tougher measures before Christmas, he said. But the Prime Minister cautioned that he was ready to take action if the situation deteriorates. "Naturally, we can't rule out any further measures after Christmas and we're going to keep a constant eye on the data and we'll do whatever it takes to protect public health." Meanwhile, Scotland has opted to apply restrictions on public gatherings, cancelling large-scale New Year's Eve celebrations and barring crowds from festive season football games and other sports. Johnson's decision not to roll out further restrictions was in part because of objections from the majority of cabinet ministers. Liz Truss, Foreign Secretary, was among those who said at Monday's cabinet meeting that there had to be incontrovertible data to justify new restrictions. The government is awaiting the latest analysis on the severity of the Omicron wave from researchers at Imperial College London, expected as soon as Wednesday. Last week, the research team, led by Government Science Advisor Professor Neil Ferguson, found no evidence of Omicron having lower intrinsic severity than the Delta variant, but they warned hospitalization data was very limited.